Looking at the street, it doesn't look very different than how it did 6 months ago when we were here.
Well, a little bit cleaner, not as much debris. Some of the houses are starting to rebuild. A couple of houses have been razed. Some houses are in the same situation they were when we were here before.
Is this typical of what you would see in a community that had been damaged by this sort of storm or hurricane?
Sometimes. In this case, Seaside Heights actually had the whole infrastructure has been damaged. So all their plumbing, all their sewer, all their electric have been damaged. So they have to rebuild the infrastructure in order to start rebuilding the community. Where sometimes when you have a hurricane hits, not the whole infrastructure is damaged, so you can start rebuilding the community a lot faster.
Is this typical that you start to see kind of as you go down these streets that there's work being done on some of them and then some haven't even been touched yet?
Correct, because some people obviously had adequate insurance and some people might not have had insurance. So obviously you would have to assume that people that don't have insurance are the houses that are just still left in the same spot we were here 6 months ago. When we have about 98% of our claims have been closed. And the 2% of claims are for people that have depreciation holdback that needs to be paid, possible supplements, and also we're still getting new claims in currently. Every day we get new claims in.
Will a lot of these homes be, at the end of the day, torn down just because people don't have the money to rebuild?
Well, on the street that we're on now, we're probably about 70% of them are going to be rebuilt, and the other ones are going to be torn down. Either they haven't been touched since the storm or they don't have adequate coverage to rebuild probably.
One of the things that we saw a lot of the last time that we were here were, cars that had been completely submerged, boats that were sandwiched between homes. It seems like at least they've gotten that part of everything cleaned up.
Usually insurance companies will tackle the hard part first, and that's the property damage claims. And then after that, they'll come in and get the cars and your toys, which would be your boats and your jet skis. So, I mean, is it an urgent to get your boat fixed right away when your house is destroyed? Usually it's not. But, and it's also access, because if a boat's on land, then you need a special trailer to pull it and lift it and move it. So it's not like I can just come in with a tow truck and pull a boat.
A couple of years, though, before it gets back to normal. That's a long time.
It is. It is, and it could, it's an estimate. It could be, I'm looking probably 2 years before this town's back to normal.
And then probably longer for towns north of here?
This was probably the worst hit. So I would say this 2 to 3 years probably would be a good, but then you still have to get the people to come back in. So, I mean, no one's here right now. This is not going to be celebrated Memorial Day like South Jersey will this year. So it's going to take time for people to move back in and come back to the shore.